Hi, I'm Ian Strachan, business coach, and I just wanted to make a short video today about value setting for your business. So it's a slightly unusual venue for me. It's not the normal recording studios. Today working from my coaching studio. So the reason values came up today, we were talking with a client recently and it's something we're just going through. So I thought while it's on the board, let's have a discussion around value setting for your business. So what's the relevance of the values? Well, the values come from why did you set the business up in the first place? What were you hoping to achieve? What is the aim of your business? Where did it come from? Deep inside you, where did it come from, the aim to run the business? And what do you want that business to achieve? What is its purpose in life? And maybe that purpose is to generate for you a living, but usually with business owners, there's a greater purpose as well. There's what you want the business to do, what you want it to feel like when you work inside the business, what standards of behaviour you expect from your team. What standards of behaviour you expect from yourself is also a huge part of being a business owner. And so by setting values, by actually spending some time digging into ourselves and understanding why we're doing what we're doing, then we can start to define some values that sit around the business. And really this helps the business to grow and to develop, because by defining those values, then you can start to recruit and train against those values. And you can bring people into the business who resonate with your values, and that allows you to build a business around you and around your values. By doing that, you can start to delegate decisions safely, or as safely as delegation can ever be. But how do you start about this? Well, to be fair, most businesses have between 3 and 6 values defined for themselves. That works really well. 3 being something of a minimum, and at 6, it gets to be a little impractical to actually learn them and then live by them. Certainly when you've got teams on board, it's handy to have less than 6. And what's the quality of the value? Well, they must be specific. Nice, clear, specific values. Nothing too generalised, nothing too meh. Just something that's clear, crystal clear and understood by anybody. And we'll get a little bit more into what the understanding is about. Massively critical, though, that those values are values that you can live by. Those are values that dictate behaviours that you can follow. This is for you as a business owner to understand more than anybody else. This is for you as a business owner to live by as much as for anybody else. Because you as a business owner, you'll be judged by the decisions that you make. And your values will be judged by the decisions that you make and the actions that you take. So it's a good time to sit back and think about the values that you want to promote and that you want your business to live with. And write those down. Because you really want your team to accept those values. You're probably going to recruit according to those values. You're going to expect them to accept those values. Over time, we're going to enhance those values. So these are not fixed. These are fluid and dynamic. Defined in some way, but also something that you can refine as time goes by. Because you want to be sure that your team will live and breathe these values. And that in the business is a magical moment. When the team starts to actually live and breathe by the same values, when the whole place resonates with the values that you've defined, then the true quality of those values come through. Because you can sit back and watch the business start to run as a really well-oiled machine, delivering what you want it to deliver. And you can start to delegate decisions to the rest of the team in safety, knowing that their mindset is the same as your mindset. So how do we start defining these values? Where do we go looking for them? It's inside ourselves. It's absolutely our own values. It's absolutely where we came from. Why did you want to run a business? How do you want the business to run? How would you like people to make decisions in the business? And that varies hugely across the spectrum of highly altruistic businesses right the way through to businesses who are highly profit driven. At the end of the day, the aim of the business is to be sustainable. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just where you want to lie on the spectrum. And when I'm writing the values, if I'm working with you to write the values, I'd normally start by single words. Okay, I'm a bit of an engineer by trade. A bullet point, it starts well for me. What words sprang into my mind? Do a bit of a word dump. Write down single words. Works really well to get the juices started. But then, those words, communication, commitment, integrity, those great words, they can be a little bit imprecise. So let's start to tone that up a little bit more and add to that phrases. So use those words and build around to get phrases. So we start to get, we reward success and family first and grow together. That way you can start to build up 6, 3 values, whatever you've got. But then really to flesh it out and take that phrase that you've developed and actually put some good descriptors behind it. Put a small paragraph together to describe exactly what that value means to you. Exactly what that value means to you. For instance, as a coaching company, now we create great outcomes. So that means that we create an environment to stretch our clients to the limit of their comfort zone, to find the zone where real growth occurs inside a person. And that's our aim as a coaching company, is to take our clients, our coachees, to the point where they really, really do grow and advance. Having defined your values, the next stage is to actually make a bit of a litmus test, an acid test on those values. And I like to tabulate it at that stage and write down what the values are, whatever the values are defined as, write them down. Then my little paragraph of what it means, what that value actually means. And then consider, in the course of a normal working day, with your team, if you saw an admired behaviour, and a behaviour that really, really stood out to you, and that absolutely resonates with the values that I have, then what would that behaviour look like? What would it be? What is a good example of that behaviour that you can then use as a template for the rest of your team? One step beneath that is what would be a desired behaviour. And this is really, when the team are resonated, this is where you want them to be, most of the time. What's a desired behaviour? And then, so you can make the judgment call on where your team are and how well they're performing. Let's have a minimum expectation. A minimum expectation of delivery of that standard. And then just to be sure that we know where we are, and this really just tests the whole limit of the value that you've set, what would be below expectation? What would a below expectation behaviour, below expectation decision look like? Just give an example of one. It doesn't have to be an in-depth description. We're not setting things in law. This is not a legal document. It's allowing you to sense check what you've drafted. Now, for me in this process, I have to say, usually one of the biggest sticking points is actually getting off the ground in the first place and starting to get these values written down. And that's a great coaching session. If you want to use a coach to facilitate that session, you can make it dynamic and very visual and very physical to actually get those out of the team or out of the inside of you and out onto a sheet of paper to start distilling out what those values really are. And that's really, really convenient, really, really good opportunities to dig deep and see where those values are coming from. Why you want to deliver those values. And then working up from those sheets that we put together there, to get the words, to get the phrases and put it together, set a value, and then to do a test on it. So that really is a crash course in values setting for a business. It was convenient to do it today, unusual settings, an unusual video for us to make, but really wanted to get that out to you today as something that was on my mind and bubbling through. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope it's brought something to you and maybe set some thoughts in process of what you can do next. Ian Strachan, business coach. If you've got any comments or questions, stick them in the comments box below. I don't know which social media platform this is going on or how many. I don't know the boxes beneath, but stick something in there. Let me know you watched it, guys, because I know you're out there watching me. Thank you very much. Ian Strachan, business coach.